Season 1 was about transformation, realizing you can love your life and break free from stories that held you back. Now, in Season 2, we're stepping in a new frequency. What transformation looks like in real life. The messy middle. The real, raw conversations. If you're ready to live your truth, let's talk. This is Jessica Javens Talk, a podcast that helps you transform your life inside out in 90 days to a life you absolutely love. I recently met a beautiful lady with dreamy eyes, and this is my guest today, which I'm very excited. I woke up to be able to speak to her today. I met her first over the phone. We had an amazing conversation. She has such a high, good energy. And then we met at the gym. Yeah, we kind of worked out together. Well, I worked out more than she did. You know why? Because she did a test on me, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment. Now, on this season 2, we're going to dig in deeper, more raw, and intimate. And Aline is very open to be very open with you too. So I want you to benefit from this. So you need to stick with us until the end of the episode, but also do your part in sharing this with your loved ones so they can also benefit. So you have also a part in helping somebody else. Thank you for watching. Aline Faro, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. So great to be here and to connect and to get to know you more. And having exercise with you that day, so great to be here.
Yes, we had a blast. Some of my followers probably saw the picture of me walking in the gym with that huge mask on my face, and I didn't care. People were curious, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment. Now, let me tell you just a little bit about Aline in just a few seconds here before we start digging in deeper. Aline Faro, she's the creator of Regenerate Your Vibes. So that's something that she's going to talk about. She is a healing chef. She is a collaborator with Austin Biotech, a longevity coach. She provides holistic wellness, particularly to women at premenopause. She has 15 years of experience, and through her own journey of wellness, she helps all her clients overcome health challenges with ancestral food wisdom, metabolic science, stem cell vitality, and hormonal harmony. Oh my gosh, sounds like music to my ears, Aline. I love this. Love it. So let's start with how you came a part of this new journey in your life of helping people to have their best life, especially at premenopause and until they get older. Tell us a little bit how that started.
Well, that always started basically trying to find myself again, right? Like I'm the one. I'm already on my mid 40s, and I'm a woman that I wanted to have the family, the career, the hobbies, the lifestyle. I wanted to have it all, and at the end of the day, I found myself crashed and burned. Like I was in my lowest energy, lowest everything you could possibly imagine, and I saw myself in this position that I'm speaking and preaching health. And when I look and so I'm healthy, and I'm like, whoa, wait a second, you gotta get your health back, right? So in order to pour into the world, so that's when it started, and that's but basically, Regenerate Your Vibes. It's a program that I envisioned back in 2016. But it's almost like you kind of have to live through the experiences so you really know what to do, and that's what it happened. Like the healer had to heal herself. So I'm here today to kind of share what was my journey and what's all about.
So you immigrated from Brazil. Was it over 20 years ago?
It's about 24 years ago. So when I came, I was 22 years old. I was like a young adult, but I was still kind of like really teenager in a sense, right? Like I always had my Brazilian full carioca vibe, love to party, love to live life, to the fullest. Wasn't really academic, right? Like I wasn't really so focused in school. I was a really much hands-on learning. So yeah, so I moved here with intentions to study, go to college. At that time, I was working with the family, and during that time is when the whole thing with chefing came about.
So that's where it changed. Because when you came here and you went to the university, what did you go for?
So originally, I came for international business. My
Business. Okay.
my vision was like, I'm gonna do business. That's how I'm gonna travel the world. That's how I'm gonna explore life, right?
And then you had a shift, a completely different type of shift, where you start becoming this healing chef, and that was also part of your change and transformation. How was that? How did that feel like? Because I know that was probably something your family wasn't expecting either. So how was that
Yeah, so
change?
that was really interesting. So during that time as a student, I was living at this host family house. And I came across this book where it was talking about the apple cider vinegar and this regenerative cuisine, right? That restores your vitality and anti aging, all those things. And I was so torn into that. And also, I always I face all my life allergies and this ovarian polycystic syndrome. So that was a issue that I had. So that was interest to me. So I started reading this book and watching a lot of Food Network at that time and going to college to, for business. And I was like, I don't know if that's what I really want to do. Like something wasn't really digesting. And turns out that my best friend at the time, she was my biggest competitor. Like she was also like she had a sunglass shop across from mine. So whenever we would make trades, like she would give a better price. And so like I didn't really like that, that setting. So I'm like, I don't think business is for me, but here I am, I'm in a program. And I started to really think more of the culinary and watching the Food Network show, like all those dynamics in the kitchen that really inspired me. I was like, oh. And one day I literally had this insight where I'm watching the show and this name came to me like healing chef. I said, I need to become a healing chef and share all this new way of eating with the world, right? Like that's how it became about.
That's amazing. Amazing. How did that impact your own health? Let's start with you.
Oh, that was like phenomenal. So at that time, when I started learning about raw cuisine, I did really, I became a raw foodist, 100%. I went through several cleanses. I did wheatgrass enemas and infusions and oh, you name it. I did it all. Like I literally, I learned through the people who created it all. Enwing Moore, Paul Bragg. I mean, Paul Bragg who had already passed, but Patricia Bragg. All these people, and it was like, wow. But then I'm starting to eat this way, and not only that, I'm feeling so energized. I healed myself. Like this whole eczema thing that bothered me so much, it went away. And I was
Wow.
like, oh, this is amazing. And I'm feeling so energized. And I'm really like connecting with my thoughts and whatever I would envision something, things would like manifest, almost like living in magic. It was really like fascinating.
Wow.
And then you meet all these woo woo people, right? That you don't know if it's really like you're talking about like 20 years ago, 25 years ago. It's really small, right? People don't really believe that food impacts you in that level because it's not only on a physical level, it's energetic, right? It's on an energy level. Anyway, I had so much energy and, the glow inside out, vibrant. And then I was sure that that was the path.
That is so beautiful that you actually went through that experience. And people don't know really until they go through it,
Yeah,
right?
I get.
Yeah, right. And you've been going through this so many different things that you've been trying and sharing with the world and changing people's lives today. Um, Now tell us a little bit about more the development that you made into helping people with the particular dishes. How did you started to provide services and make that something that people could actually touch and enjoy, and to how that improvement started? How did it start? And then we'll dig into the other areas of your services.
Well, it's been a process, right? So first of all, I was never really into cooking back in the days, right? So all my cooking skills came through culinary school. I really watched my grandma, my mom doing the basic cooking, but that was about it. I was never really involved in the kitchen. So for me, it wasn't only learning about cooking and the techniques and all the procedure, was also like, how do I deliver that, right? How do you deliver the product? So my first thought was actually really working at the places that I thought was the best homes for me, like always following the natural path and creating knowledge based on that, like on the experiences and how I improve my cooking. Because here I am, like I'm a chef, but I'm still learning how to cook, right? I don't have enough experience that I say, oh. So I knew that that was going to be a long run until I'm here today, ready to deliver other systems. But it was really like hands on learning from peeling potatoes, onions, chopping and cooking and cleaning and purchasing and learning from vendors and how you purchase and where your food is coming from and the difference between organic and non-organic and why it's so important to eat clean, all those things. So it's a long process.
I love two things that you said right now. Number one, that you were not raised or learned how to cook growing up. And I know a lot of people might avoid going that path of eating that way because they were not hands on growing up. So they say, well, I'm not a cook, or I don't like cooking, or I live by myself. And that's the reality of a lot of people today. And then that goes to the back burner. And now they're missing out on this entire experience, body and mind, about how you glow inside out with that. And their full potential is not there because they have these beliefs. So that also takes me to the next thing, which is your coaching. Now, before we go there, the second point that I liked is the fact that you said hands on. People want immediate results. And for you to get good results, there is no immediate results. You have to work on it. You have to put it in. And even if you think that you don't have that experience, like you were never cooking, you just maybe watch your mom and your grandma maybe making some dishes, but you were not hands on growing up. I was a little bit. So I have that experience and I always go back to it. And I know how good that was for me. But that's not an excuse either of you not having that. So I think that's going to be very inspirational for people to say, huh, maybe I can just start looking. Because that's how it started with you. And I started to me, let me just start looking. Let me just be curious. And that's the first step to start taking you into that path. Now tell us how this program, but just with the food, and how important is your coaching that comes with that?
Well, it's so when you said about the cooking and learning the cooking, so this is specific cooking that we're talking about, plant-based, regenerative, raw foods. Not only that, it's a cooking technique, it's a very specific cooking technique. The procedures, instead of heating and cooking, you actually uncooking. So not only that, I was learning everything from scratch. It was this very specific niche that was really weird, right? Everybody was like, what the heck you doing? And why you're not cooking coxinhas and pastel and feijoada and you want to uncook salads and juices and things like that? So, and yes, you need to learn it all because at the end of the day, those old school skills, those are the most important things you can take in your life because health really lives in your kitchen, right? Like we all know these days in this ultra processed world that the convenience that we all have, this is really killing us. So if you don't have the basic skills what to put in your plate for you and your family, I think you're pretty lost. And I feel like that's my mission also, and that's what I'm trying to you know um evolve as a person, as a professional? How do I transfer this message to you and to other women that needs that help, that to get their health better and to help their families and their friends and the environments that they live, right? Because you can be living your health lifestyle all you want, but then you go to a network event where you have that spread that it's loaded with amazing delicious food, but you know that it's going to impact you in a negative way, and you might lose your sleep that night. You might not feel that rested the next day, and that has a snowball effect in your
Yep.
health, right? So yes, I feel like the basic skills, going back to looking what our parents did, our grandparents did, it's really important. It's really humbling too. And yes, every woman is, you have to learn how to put your makeup on, but you also have to learn how to get basic things done in the kitchen. It's really important.
Very good. And to bring that awareness and that education is where you're starting. We're gonna talk about the regenerate your vibes in just a little bit. Now, about a week and a half ago or something like that, I did a metabolic test with you, and that's another aspect of your coaching and your wellness journey that you help people to actually rejuvenate, especially at around the age that we're at right now, which is premenopause, and how that is going to impact your future moving on the next few years of your life. So let's talk about that.
Well, so as I said, regenerate your vibes. It's also the process that I'm going through now as I'm entering midlife. And one of the things that I feel like it's so important as you go on is that you must have a strategy. You must have a strategy how you want to age, right? Every woman, no matter where you are, you can be the elite, the non-elite. And I really want to speak to the sandwich generation, right? The woman that had to care for their aging parents and still raising their children and having to work, having their career. You kind of forget yourself. You even forget where to you do even begin, right? So regenerate your vibe. It's basically me learning and going to all these seminars and learning from the most amazing doctors that are talking to women now, and bringing this knowledge that didn't exist because there's not a lot of studies on women right now. Our studies are based on 30 years till now, so we don't
Thank
have a lot of foundation. So learning from all those things and really applying, it's making a huge impact on me. And I know as a health coach, I'm always looking for root causes, right? What's the root cause of that problem? So I know metabolic health, it's a major one because that it's a cluster of conditions that impact your health. And it's like heart, brain, mood, inflammation, joint. And we live in an inflammaging era, right? Like we're so inflamed, like, and
Totally.
that inflammation, it's not only affecting your systems, it affects whole energy field. And it's like, wow, it's amazing. So bringing that awareness and really combining, like linking the dots. So in this metabolic test, it's, yes, I'm coaching clients, but I'm actually learning from it, right? Like it's me now at my point in my career that I know I need to integrate with AI. I need to integrate my work with technology and how I'm going to deliver my messaging and my systems. Number one. Number two is how I'm going to learn more in depth about your unique body, right? Like that metabolic test gives me insights about your system, and with that I can prescribe a nutrition plan, a fitness plan, and I can guide you through an app. So it gives me a lot of venues to get close to you and to impact you in a positive way. And third, I want to make sure these systems and tests are available to the women that cannot afford, going to holistic doctors, and they put their health on the back burner because they don't have the means to take care of themselves, right? So I want to
Yeah.
make sure this woman is heard, is seen, and it's guided. And yes, I've been doing this work, but I'm also learning through it. Like I'm learning to. I want to make sure by the time I get to 50s, I'm living the best version of myself. And now I know with the strategy that I have and the tools and the knowledge, I'm gonna make it there, right? So it's about showing also my transformation, that how it's going, and it's possible for every woman and everyone that wants to join. I want to be part of this movement.
Absolutely. You know, when I met Aline in person, I felt the real energy there. I have to tell you, Aline, you had so much energy within you. And then you were telling me that maybe you didn't answer my message at this time because you go to bed at this time because you have to respect this and that. Like she has so many things aligned right now. And I feel like you're at your full potential now. But look at you. You acknowledge that growth is a continual thing. And what I loved also about what you said is that the longevity is not just about living longer, because people are talking about 120 now. That's on books, that's on social media. 120 is the new like age where people want to reach. But how are you going to live until 120? What's the quality of that life? And that's where you start telling me about that. And it really touched my heart. And I think that people need to listen to that. How are you wanting to impact people's lives that will be living until 120? Tell us about that.
hmm Yeah, so I'm always going to share things that I'm living, right? So speaking about myself, so I reached this point of my life that yes, I did accomplish so many things, but then I'm finding myself in this position that I have no energy, physical energy, to accomplish all this other stuff that I have to come, right? Like, it's like, so it was basically getting up and say, if I don't do for myself, no one is going to do it, right? And if I don't apply my knowledge, now I'm this stupid one, right? Like I'm going to be sitting in the couch like a potato, and I'm going to cry out, and I won't have enough time to reverse all my conditions that I know they are all preventable, right? Like through lifestyle and all. So yeah, so I think I even lost the question. Sorry, I get so like caught up in this.
I know. You have so much to share, and it's
But
amazing. It's very
like
inspirational.
applying what you learn and connecting with other people, asking for help, right? One of the things that I, during this time that I found myself like, wow, this is not good. I needed help. I needed the help. Even the healer. I mean, the healers, they need more help than everyone else, believe it or not. So it was, looking for help, and step by step, being patient, acknowledging and showing up with grace and intention. And yes.
Thank you for that. My question was, how do you want people, because we talk about rejuvenate your vibes, I'm
Ah,
sorry, regenerate, and you're talking also about people expanding
oh, that's
their
right.
lifespan, but with quality.
Yeah,
Because
that's what. Yeah, that's why.
are living longer, but with what quality of life?
Mm-hmm. Yes, because quality of life, yes, feeling energetic, right? Not feeling so inflamed and stiff that you can't even play with your kids, right? You can't even enjoy the beach or the parks anymore because everything hurts. So it's really like looking, we have the power to change that. We do. The body, it's a miracles machine. And the moment you apply and you gives it condition and safety, it regenerates. And that's what I want to share with the world. And I want to improve my work more onto that, and all the things that I want to do for the future, really working with regeneration on a cellular level and applying food to that.
I love it. This metabolic test that I did with Aline was so mind opening to me, because I heard of it, but I wasn't sure what it involves. Because there's, like she said, there's so much out there, and some of it is just like, expensive. So you kind of put it in the back burner and you just let your health keep going the way it is, and you don't know what you're missing. So Aline made it possible for me, which I'm so grateful for, that I went through that experience. And it's a scientific method of measuring your metabolic rate, and in many different levels. And it tells you your metabolic age. So that's great. Not only athletes do this, but any person can do it. And in a regular basis, by measuring that, you can know what's working for you and what doesn't. So even the eating, for example, the menu or the dishes, there is a possibility of you personalizing that.
Yes.
Right, Aline? Did I say that right? Tell us about.
Yes. Yeah, I saw so much beauty on that. So so basically every food you put in your body, that it's going to translate into a DNA, let's say, like, right, like, not being scientific, but it becomes part of how your cells function. So understanding what your body needs and what type of foods it needs in order to heal that inflammation, or maybe to extend your arteries, or to maybe calm your nerves, that it's so fascinating to me. So with this test, it gives me all that information back and how to fix it. So I'm really, like, I'm coaching people with that and sharing, but I'm really learning more and more, and how each ingredient impacts you in that way, and combined with lifestyle and mindful practices, how that integration all works. So let's say I did my first testing, like, I'm the first client of myself, right? I'm my first one.
Of course.
So I did the testing like 6 months ago, and it was kind of frustrating. My metabolic rate was really low. In other words, I'm still holding a lot of fat, right, and inflammation. I'm not burning as I should burn. And um, I then now know that I have to eat a lot more calories than I was eating before. I was
Wow.
eating enough calories for my body to be operating at certain level. So this test gave me precisely information on how many calories from fat I need to eat, from carbs I need to eat, from protein, and how many calories in total the days that I work out, the days that I don't work out. Also tells me all my training zones. Like, I know I burn more fat when I'm training on zone 2, and that's a specific heart rate, right? So that tells me exactly what heart rate I need to be so I can perform my best. And it's just like so many information. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to share this with everyone, and I want to make sure everyone becomes their best versions of themselves. And most importantly, it doesn't need to break the bank, right?
Absolutely. How do you feel, Aline, after spending this time and this dedication on yourself, which of course made you choose the career that you're in right now? How does it make you feel as a person, as looking back now into your life? How do you feel about yourself and your life with all of this?
Hmm. It's a long it's been 20 years plus in this process, right? And throughout the process there was moments that I thought, am I doing the right thing? Is that am I sacrificing my family, myself, for this vision, for this dream, and to impact and share? Am I doing the right thing? But now, at the point that I'm in, and coming back from healing, I'm still healing. It's like, wow, no, I did choose the path, and it brings me such a joy and peace, and it feels great. I really feel great. I feel like I'm living the best days of my life. I do have a lot of chaos around me, but I'm always looking for that, inner peace, and that's my practice, right? I'm always trying to bring. That's actually what's healing to me. Like, healing for me, it's bringing order to chaos. So
Mhm.
that is a constant in my life. I'm always bringing order to my chaos, right? Because my brain doesn't stop. I want to move all the time. I have a million ideas. I want to do a million things, but I'm always trying to bring that order, order back.
I love it. Yeah, because there's so many things that we do not have control, right? But what you do have control It's so important that you're doing everything that you can with what you have right now. And that's what you're doing and inspiring and helping so many others. Aline, tell us a story about one of your clients and how all of this program that you're having, benefited them. You told me a couple of stories, but I wanted you to share at least one.
Well, I have many, many successful stories, but I also have some that are not so successful. But this particular story, I want to make it successful because not only that touches me in a way, but also I want to make sure that his love and his care for myself and for the loved ones, for his loved ones, is heard and it's felt and sensed throughout the universe. So I'm going to share the story of my best friend that about 5 years ago was diagnosed with this massive cancer. It was horrible. There was no treatment. The only treatment was lifestyle and diet. And I was lucky enough to be able to make some adjustments to my life where I could go and be his healing chef, right? So becoming his healing chef, it was a very transformational period of my life because I had to learn how to prepare to die. There was no option. And also doing everything I could to reverse that, right? Like I still want to prove that food has an impact. And yes, even though his condition was really bad, I feel like he had only a few months left. We were able,
Oh,
like, he lived like 3 more years, and during the when he passed, it's gonna be 3 years next month. I
oh
during
man.
that process, the grief, the guilt, how can I not see my best friend getting sick and all those things? And we know that we weren't like aligned. We know that we were so distant from ourselves, but we kept pushing and working and dealing with life anyway. So during the process of grief, I kept going through my emails. I saved all his emails, right, and reading like if he's talking to me. I found this email about a metabolic syndrome, and that's where the metabolic health came about. So metabolic syndrome, it's actually, in my opinion, like the top one problem that causes all these illnesses and diseases. And I said, okay, so that's what everyone should know, and that's your message. So then I found myself in this path, and I came across Pinoi, which I think it's going to be amazing too, where I can help other people when I want to make sure I help other people that cannot find help other way, and allowing them and giving them this incentive to connect with themselves again. Did I
Very,
answer your question? Because I
yes.
get
Told us
emotional
a
and then
story about how you came to the metabolic
yeah.
syndrome, which was what I started learning about
My,
that.
my best friend's story that his condition started with his poor metabolic health. It was a combination of emotional. Then he did a lot of binge eating. He was very lonely. He never asked for help. Very, all he did was work, 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 and then that happened.
Wow.
And I want to bring that awareness too, that we are not machines. We are energetic beings. We are living beings. We need to have connections and we need to work on that.
I love that. I absolutely love that because in the age that we're in, we think that we can go by not realizing our needs as creatures, as human beings, and there's no escape. You have to realize that, and I appreciate people like you because you're educating people. You educated me, and you are on this path of have living the best life for you, but everybody that you're around the same because you're helping them to realize the importance of that. So thank you for everything that you've been sharing. Now you're about to come out with something, right? That we can all benefit and maybe read and learn. So I want to make sure that the people who are listening to us today, they have more information because you gave us just a little taste, but there's a lot more that they can take in so they can actually make the real changes and start loving their life. So tell us what you're up to and how they can reach
So,
you.
all right. So they can always reach me through my website, alinesuperfoods.com. And what I'm developing now, it's a simple guide where I am sharing basic informations on the brain health, joint health, inflammation, respiratory health, like all the basic information that every woman needs to have in order to come up with a strategy, how they are going to age. And the guide, it's called Regenerate Your Vibes, of course. And I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. And there I'm going to share scientific information, but I'm also going to share a lot of simple recipes and self-care habits that I practice, and trying to make everything as simple as possible to really reach the women that doesn't have time, doesn't have the space to become the best versions of themselves. But be sure that you need to focus on that and make sure you have a plan and you have a strategy, whatever point you are in your life.
Yeah, thank you for making that tool available. It's going to become available soon, so follow her on social media. So Aline is basically trying to help all women from premenopause up until old age to have quality, happy lives and not be in their later stages in life with pain and miserable, but having mental clarity and the best possible physical body that they can so they can enjoy their grandkids, their great grandkids, and so on.
Yes. And while you do that, have a sharp brain and have your vitality on, right?
Of
Those are
course.
two main things for me.
That is priceless, priceless. So if you're watching this show right now, you can also help a little bit, not just by following her and making sure you check her out and her pages. She's on Instagram and Facebook and so forth, but also check out this publication that's going to come out very soon. And it's accessible to everybody. It's easy to understand and easy to start implementing right away. You just have to know that yourself, you are the best and biggest investment that you'll ever have. And I want to thank Aline to so much for coming in the show today. Keep shining. Keep her. She has a beautiful family too, and of course, all of them around her benefit from all of this journey that she's in. And I'm privileged to have met you, and I look forward to meeting you again. She doesn't live too far away from my house, which I'm so happy. Like, yay!
Right.
Which is great. You don't have to come all the way to Indianapolis, although maybe next season you can come all the way here and get to know Indianapolis and inspire the people and the artists here, which are amazing too. Very
Go invite
inspirational.
me twice and I'll come.
Very good. Very good.
It was great being here. Thanks for having me. And I look forward to sharing more the message and keeping, the energy up.
Thank you so, so much. Keep shining, Aline. And this again is Jessica Javens Talk. This show is produced by the I Am Beast Network and Andre the Beast Creighton and brought by Forever Living, the best aloe vera juice in the world that helped transform my wellness. And also by my brother's new bar in Fort Lauderdale. It's a wine bar. My brother is a sommelier and he's very successful right now. And I can't wait for you to meet it. So it's booming right now. It's called Through the Vine. I'll see you on the next episode. Click like, share, and subscribe. See you on the next episode. Let's talk. This is Jessica Javens Talk.